Okay, so today we're looking at the John Deere 216, and today's video is going to be on how to get the fender off of there, because it's a little tricky, but let's do it. Alright, so we don't have to do this in any particular order, but some of the stuff we have to do is we have to get the foot pegs off on both sides, that knob off, that knob off, that knob off. There's a bolt right there on both sides, and under here is also a bolt. Now this bolt here is mounted to the frame by a welded nut, so we can just turn that off. We don't have to worry about a nut on the other side. The foot pegs here are held in place by two bolts, and you're going to use a 1/2-inch wrench or socket to get at those and pull them off, and of course pull these knobs off. Now this particular tractor happens to have a carriage bolt on there, and underneath I'm pretty sure that there's a nut, so I think that was replaced sometime in the past. But right now we're going to get started on the foot pegs. Alright, so it looks like I can use a maybe there we go. I can use that on the bottom side, get a wrench here on the top side, that came off pretty good. Alright, maybe, of course. There we go. All right. Good thing there's a little flex in that. All right, now let's get the other one. The mower deck is a little bit in the way. And if I had another wrench, that would work too. Probably replace that with some new bolts. These are kind of rusty and old. There we go. And that's the first foot peg. Now we'll go and do the other side. All right, this side doesn't allow me to get in here with a socket, so I got two wrenches, 1/2-inch. Maybe a little more here. There's the first nut. Oh. Oh. There it is. All right. Now the next one. Oh. This one's on a little tighter. At least the bolt's not spinning in place. Alright, here it comes. There it is. Alright. Here's the other foot peg. Alright, so now I'm going to focus on these two bolts here, one on here and one on the other side. Again, we're working with a 1/2 inch. And like I said before, the nut on the other side of this bolt is welded to the frame. So there's no nut on the back side to worry about. Just pull that bolt off. Let's go around the other side. Alright, now on this side, if this lever happens to be in your way of the tool, obviously pull it up out of the way. Again, 1/2 inch. And not quite. And there we go. Well, that one's a little bit longer. Here's the one that came out of the other side, the passenger side, and this one came out of this side, so I'm not sure which one is original. This one has green paint on it though. Oh yeah, and a little addition to the video. On this side over here, there was a spacer. So when you take that bolt out, don't misplace the spacer. On the other side, the spacer is actually like welded in place, so that's not going to go anywhere. So don't lose that thing. Alright, so now I want to try getting some of these knobs off. This one right here I think is going to be particularly difficult, because if you're trying to turn this, that adjusts the height of the deck. So I'm going to try to get a wrench on this nut, which is a 9/16, hold that in place while turning this off. Oh, wow, that's tight. Alright, we're going to have to get something like this on there. There we go. Just had to break loose a little bit. And now we'll take this off. Well, maybe we don't have to take that off, but if I have to, I'm going to have to get a vice grip on this. And we can get this knob off. Alright, so now that we've got this knob off, I don't know if it's going to be necessary to get that nut off, because it might catch on this hole, but that's on there pretty tight. So what I'm going to do here, there we go. And that's that. And we've got the knob here on the parking brake. Oh, there it goes. And we're just about there. Alright, so as I might have mentioned earlier, you don't have to take the seat off to do this, but it would be a little lighter if you did. My seat is loose, so I can slide it back and forth. But what I need to do is to get to the nut that's under the fender by this bolt and that bolt. And I think the nut that's under here is 1/2 inch. So let's reach under here. That came off pretty easily. What do we got here? A nut and a washer and a little carriage bolt. So pretty easy. Let's get the other side. And there we go. So now I think that we have everything unbolted and unscrewed that needs to be unbolted and unscrewed. So we're going to grab that fender from the back and start lifting it up. And I think we might have to pull the fender a little bit to clear. There you go. Yeah, like that. So let's get to pulling and see what happens. Alright, and there it is. That is how to remove the fender on the John Deere 200 series tractor. This happens to be a John Deere 216. And that's the schmutz that needs to be cleaned up before it gets all put back together. So, alright, very good. If you learned something, I appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe. So, have a good day. Thanks for watching.